you have 2,478 emails in your inbox and every time you open your inbox you feel slightly overwhelmed? Or are you a zero inbox person? Chances are that if you're watching this video right now, then you are looking for a couple of different ways on how to better manage your emails this year. And if that is the case, I am super excited that you're watching this video, because in today's video I want to share a couple of really simple strategies with you on how to better manage your emails in 2022. So let's get started. Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia Arndt and I'm a peak performance coach and stress management trainer, and I'm really excited to talk with you today about email management. Emails are definitely one of the most energy draining and distracting tasks that you are performing throughout your workday. But we use emails as a procrastination tool because every time we go into our inbox and you answer an email, then you get a little hit of dopamine, the happiness hormone, and it makes you feel good and a little bit more accomplished about your day. But you might find yourself at the end of the workday or maybe at 10 p.m. in the evening still having things to do because you may have spent too much time in your inbox not focusing on the actual tasks and projects and priorities that you needed to get done during the day. So in today's video, I want to share 4 really simple strategies with you on how I manage my emails without any specific task managers or add-ons or any complicated systems or tools. I really believe in the simplicity of things, and I hope that with the 4 strategies that I'm sharing with you today, you get a head start into your email management in 2022. So let's get started with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is to be really clear on what your objective and goal is with email management. Maybe it is not your goal to have a zero inbox, and that's totally okay. I don't want you to think now everyone should have a zero inbox. Everyone is different, we all have personal preferences, and it might not be your goal and your objective to always have a zero inbox. And maybe it's also not very realistic for you. So think about what is something that could be a good challenge for you or a good improvement when it comes to email management. Would you like to, for example, have dedicated times throughout the day in order to manage your emails? Or would you like to limit the amount of emails to 100 every day that are still sitting in your inbox? Or maybe you want to answer a specific number of emails per day, or you want to dedicate a specific turnaround time to managing and responding to emails and to your clients. Whatever it is, take a moment right now and think about what is your objective and goal with email management. Once you have that goal, we can move into step number 2 or tool number 2 when it comes to email management. I already kind of mentioned it in the first one, but I think you should actually have dedicated times when you are checking your emails. This should be hopefully one of your goals, because there is a lot of research around email management and about task switching. In fact, you are losing 28% of your workday when you are switching tasks. So when you're going into your inbox and then you're having a meeting and then maybe you work on a project for 5 minutes and then you go back to your inbox because it says this little 1 in brackets and you get distracted. And we really want to avoid that. That is one of the most important things when it comes to email management. You want to be focused and you want to make sure that when you are dedicating time to your emails, then you're really just dedicating time to your emails. And when you're dedicating time to a project or a task, then you should really dedicate that time to that specific task or project. Now, I do speak with a lot of people all the time and they tell me, yes, but I do need to have access to my inbox in order to work on a project or in order to work on a task. And that's totally okay, but don't use this as an excuse to constantly have your inbox open. If you need a specific information, get that information, or maybe even print out the email that you need in order to work on this task, and then close your inbox again. Because remember, you do lose a lot of time when you are getting distracted by new emails coming in on a regular basis. And we all know that there's probably tens and hundreds of emails that you might be receiving on a day-to-day basis. And it's really important that you're staying a little bit away from that and you're staying focused on the tasks that you have, in order to also make sure sure that you are getting all of your work done during your workday. This is honestly mistake number one that I see people make when it comes to just work time management, is to just be way too much in their inbox. So don't make that mistake, and dedicate a specific time or specific times during the workday to your emails, and based on your role and your responsibilities, those might be 2 dedicated times or 3 dedicated times. Tip number 3, have a personal email management system. So now we're getting super specific and strategic about how I am managing my emails, because I want to share a specific system with you. Again, this is just one example. Those are a couple of specific tips on how I go best about managing my emails. But don't worry about it. If there is something that doesn't resonate with you, don't think that you have to take on all of these different tips one by one. Choose what works for you and leave out what doesn't work for you. Okay, so here's how I go about my email management on a day-to-day basis. First of all, I obviously open my email inbox and I look through all of the emails that I have received, for example, overnight. And I go through the list of emails, and the first thing that I do is I delete all the emails that I have received that are not relevant for me. Those could be, for example, generic emails like a newsletter or an information from my bank about a new statement, things like that, that is kind of nice to know, and it's good that they are there, but once I have seen that email, I can just simply delete it and move on. That is the first step. The second step, and something that I always keep in mind, is to look at emails that are coming regularly into my inbox but are not very helpful. So is it junk? Is it newsletters that initially I signed up for and I thought that they might be really relevant for me, but that I realize that they're either not relevant or I don't ever read them? Then I create either a filter or I just simply unsubscribe to these emails to make sure that I'm not being overwhelmed by those kind of emails, and that my email list is getting longer and longer and longer and longer. Because honestly, I think this is one of the reasons why people are struggling with email management, because they're not staying on top of the things that are coming in, and they are not filtering out or unsubscribing from emails that are actually irrelevant for them. So that is step number 2. Step number 3 then is that I'm looking through obviously emails that are coming in that are relevant for me. And there's a really simple rule. If an email takes less than 5 minutes to respond to, and if it's a quick question and a quick answer, then I will do it right in the moment. I will, for example, send an email and say, hey, thank you so much for this email. Let me get back to you on this. Or maybe someone replied to an email that I sent out, and I will just reply really quickly, thank you so much for letting me know. I'm excited to work with you, right? And then as soon as I have replied to that email, I move that email into a designated folder. I have a ton of different folders in my inbox because that's how I work and that's how I stay structured and organized. I am kind of a zero inbox person. Throughout the week, I usually have a few emails in my inbox because it's at the same time my task list as well. And then towards Thursday or Friday, I usually try to have no more emails in my inbox. Sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I do have a couple of emails left in my inbox for the next week as well, which is totally fine as well. But step number 3 is to basically reply to any emails that take less than 5 minutes. And then part 2 of step number 3 is then to filter those messages out and remove them from your inbox. And then finally, step number 4 is to make sure that I have the emails that need more attention from me in my inbox as my current to-do list and my task manager. So I don't work with any other tools, any other add-ons. If you do need that, if you find that helpful, for sure do it. For me, it's just an additional thing that I need to manage. So I'm keeping it super simple. Whatever is in my inbox are the things that I need to take care of. And sometimes I need a little bit of time for that. So I would, for example, go into my calendar as a second step and I would schedule some time with myself to answer that specific email or get back to my client or get back to a stakeholder. And so that is how I manage my inbox. It's honestly super simple and super easy, and it's worked for me for many, many years successfully. I have that strategy, and obviously it might take you a little bit of time to get to that point, to have created all of these different folders, for example, but it is not impossible. And once you have that structure and you have that discipline to go for the 1 or 2 times during the workday go through those emails, then it will be so much easier for you to know what you need to get done. So ensure a good email management system, and it's going to make you feel a lot more relaxed and a lot more on top of things and accomplished at the end of the workday. So finally, the last tip that I have for you today when it comes to managing your inbox and your emails is to have a fresh start. I got the idea from talking to somebody about zero inbox and email management, and he told me that every time at the end of the year he creates a folder that's called the specific year, let's say 2021, and he moves all of the emails that he still has left over in his inbox into that specific folder to have a fresh start, to have zero inbox at the start of whatever time period you want to. If you are watching this video right now, this is your time to create that folder if you have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 emails in your inbox, and start fresh, because sometimes we are just feeling overwhelmed and we're just feeling incapable to manage our emails because there's just so much. And so just create a fresh start for you, move all of the emails that you don't need anymore into a specific designated folder, and it enables you to have a fresh start. And sometimes that's all we need in order to start fresh and have more space for ourselves to create a new habit and a new routine. So I hope 1 or 2 or more of those tips were helpful for you and you feel a little bit better equipped to manage your emails in 2022. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to leave me a comment down below. I'm super happy to answer any of your questions. And if you have any other tips, any other things that have worked really well for you in the past, then please share it with our community and let's become better email managers in 2022. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I really hope to see you in the next one.